Let's get into the highlights. So let's start with your deck tech. Let's figure out what you're going to be playing today for your standard event, and then we'll get into some games.
I'm going to be playing mono blue.
So we got the deck tech in here, so we know what we're going to be playing. And if I'm not mistaken, this has actually been in some international top 8s. Looking at untapped.gg, so we got a pretty good deck on our end. So you can get into the games whenever you want. I was talking to my wife about this, about how triggers work, and
how's the timing? Yeah.
So you'd want the resolve to pay, so that he pays his 2 to target, so that uses the rest of his mana if he does pay, and now you'd protect it.
Okay. Because I've messed that up so many times.
Yeah.
Because like when you're playing with people outside of it, or like on paper or whatever, like regular cards, like you don't have to go through these triggers.
Yeah, it's a conversation at that point.
Yeah. All right. I have 31 cards.
So it'll be 21.
So if I can do 21.
Yeah. So X would be 7, right? Just 21. If you don't get 5 spells, 5 instant and sorceries with 21 milled cards,
I'm sure I will.
Watch that number jump up.
23.
Boom, 23. Swing in for lethal. Nice.
That's why I have Jason there. No one else does that though.
Nice. Yeah, that's not a normal play line for a budget mono blue deck. So
yeah,
but we'll take the victory. Take it.
I feel like it's such a game finisher.
From a Magic standpoint, I know you've been creating Magic content for a little while now.
That's where I started.
What's your favorite Magic set? We already talked about your favorite card. What's your favorite Magic set?
My favorite set. I'm trying not to just be nostalgic or whatever. I think Mirrodin was awesome.
Yeah.
Mirrodin was so game changing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And it's unfortunate what's happened to their people now. If you know the storyline and follow the lore. What about the Mirrodin set that just stood out for you? Obviously, you said there's some nostalgia to it, but
yes. So I just remember the artifact equipments and like the cat soldiers and stuff. That was my first starter deck I ever got for that set, and I don't know, I was excited. I was a lot younger too.
Yeah,
for sure. But everything was just robots.
Yeah.
And I love robots. It was just very, the artifacts and everything. I'm going slow. This guy's going crazy.
Probably.
That right there was huge for me, and I really loved the theme, the overall feel. I love everything was made out of. He's a flyer. That's fine. Everything was made out of. It's just like a takeover. Like everything organic was made out of mechanic stuff, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Like the ground seemed mechanic. Hold on, let me tell him. Thinking. Everything was mechanical, and the grass was like razor blades, and just like the lands were artifacts. It was awesome.
Yeah. You mentioned you got your first starter pack from Mirrodin. How'd you come across Magic? Like, how'd you learn about Magic as a whole?
Man, I had
it's a long time ago, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna discard this. So the artwork was awesome. I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
And I consider this. I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I really liked Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, and my friend was like, there's a better game out there, right? And I was like, really? Okay. And he's like, this is what it is. And it was funny because he was one of those guys that didn't have card sleeves, and he had like 100 100 card deck, and you just carry it around, you know, carry it around, and they were all dirty and like all the edges were all chewed up. It looked like you just chewed everything up.
Oh yeah, the glory days. When you got a card that's now worth $200-300 just on asphalt or concrete, and they just scrape. Oh yeah, it's a different time for sure. Different time.
So it was so funny because this dude, he was super nerdy, super cool guy, but he's like, "There's a better game," and I was like, "Okay, let me check it out." And he let me play some of the cards and got some more friends into it, and I was like, this is a way deeper game.
Oh yeah,
this is so cool. And the amount of cards, how old the game was. I mean, there's just so many cards. I won.
Another victory there.
Yep. There were just so many cards to look at, and I didn't know there was formats at the time, and we pretty much played with every card you could think of, and I remember when I bought my first pack of Magic cards, I got sprayed by a skunk. I got sprayed by a skunk. Let me rephrase it. My dog got sprayed by a skunk, and my dad brought him in the house.
Ooh.
And tried to wash him, and he never really, went through that before. So he like tried to put tomato sauce on him or whatever you're supposed to do, and then he's like, "Oh god, that stinks." He turned on the fan that kind of circulates everything.
Yeah.
Bad idea. So he blew the skunk stuff through. I mean, dude, I don't think anybody realizes how, like, when you drive by it, it's in the air. It's nasty. But when it's like in the house, it's the most potent, crazy thing I've ever smelled in my life. I can still smell it. I feel like it's still in my brain.
It's like singed in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good hand.
Yeah.
So that happened, and they're like, "You guys need to get," my dad was like, "Kids, you need to get out of the house, and go somewhere." So I went to the mall. It was embarrassing because everybody could be like, smell me,
Yeah.
But I remember going to like this little card shop, and I bought a tournament pack. It had the I can't remember his name, but it's like the vampire dude.
Soren.
On the outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Soren. Yeah, he was on there. No, wait, it wasn't. I thought it was somebody else, but I can't remember.
I don't know if he's the only.
It was some other.
He's the only like mainland vampire, but there's been so many vampires over the years that you never know.